Welcome to Illuminati Silver. We tell you the truth about silver. Today is Thursday the 25th of July 2019 and we're covering the European Central Bank's announcement today not to reduce interest rates. And we express our views on the ECB statement and President Mario Draghi's comments and their implications. Before we discuss what was said by Mario Draghi at the ECB today, it's worth mentioning that yesterday we produced a video entitled "Today is a Day for Politics," where we highlighted the appointment of Boris Johnson as Prime Minister of the United Kingdom and also Mueller's testimony before both the House Judiciary Committee and the Intelligence Committee. Now, whilst this video is not about that subject, it perhaps would be fair to say that Johnson attempted a Churchillian-type speech by making it clear that the UK will most definitely leave the EU on the 31st of October. Mueller's testimonies were mixed. The first, in front of the Judiciary Committee, was quite frankly boring, tepid and somewhat disappointing. It livened up a little at the Intelligence Committee, and on balance, both Democrats and Republicans can take something away and promote their partisan positions based on those takeaways. In other words, there was nothing revolutionary, and neither side had an outright victory. What we will add, though, is that Mueller seemed old for his age, and quite possibly is not in great health. He is clearly hard of hearing and seemed uncertain in parts as to what his own report stated and found some difficulty in finding appropriate words, which is why we suspect he wanted his close aide and Deputy Special Counsel, Aaron Zably, next to him. Now on to the European Central Bank. Mario Draghi, the President of the ECB, has just 3 months left of his 8-year tenure before he hands over to Christine Lagarde on the 31st of October. Today he announced that the ECB would be leaving interest rates unchanged for now, but could see current levels being maintained or lower through mid-2020. Now this is a change, as previously he mentioned that he saw rates remaining fixed until at least June 2020. He also stated during his news conference that, quote, "This outlook is getting worse and worse, with a rebound in the second half of 2019 less likely," unquote. Now the giveaway for us, however, as bankers or former bankers, are his comments on inflation. This is what he said, quote, "The bottom line is basically, we don't like what we see on the inflation front. And symmetry means there is no 2% cap. Inflation can deviate on both sides," unquote. Now this suggests that he is willing to allow inflation to rise above what was previously regarded as a 2% cap, if necessary, thereby suggesting both lower rates and asset purchases in order to induce some inflation into the economy. We are looking at this having more focus above 2% as opposed to below, because inflation is already well below its target, and Germany is facing continuously lower industrial output, and the likelihood of the Federal Reserve lowering rates on the 31st is almost a given, necessitating the ECB to respond in some way. It has to be acknowledged, however, that with interest rates already at 0%, there is little the ECB can do except QE, quantitative easing, unless it's willing to endure the ramifications of minus interest rates, which in time it may have little alternative but to adopt. For the moment, consumer confidence, employment and bank lending remain at relatively healthy levels, but there is no doubt that as far as the ECB is concerned, it could be looking at many years of financial stimulus ahead. The central bank and governmental approach to potential recessions has changed since 2008. Prior to this, it was generally expected to have an economic recession every 7 to 10 years, resulting in corrective monetary policies, and then a gradual new boom occurring, which is why it was known as boom and bust economics. The approach since 2008 has been not to allow such a recession to occur, via constantly stimulating the economy where and when necessary. And gradually, it's only a small step from there before we enter the realm of modern monetary theory, an area we have delved relatively deeply into within our premium video section of the Inner Sanctum. The immediate aftermath of the interest rate announcement saw the euro versus the dollar fall to around $1.11.1, but is currently standing at $1.12, whereas before the decision it was $1.13. We wish to make clear at this point that the ECB has, quite frankly, only limited manoeuvres ahead. As mentioned, interest rates are already at 0%, and its balance sheet is already equivalent to 40% of the bloc's economic output. Now, it can change its rules on relaxing the limits of government bond purchases, but these could leave the ECB open to legal challenges. Whereas in the United States, with a Fed funds rate at 2.25% to 2.5%, it has quite a few steps ahead as far as rate reductions are concerned, before other major asset purchases need be considered. It is partly for this reason we have stated for not only months but years that talk of an imminent dollar collapse is just sheer nonsense and fear-mongering, certainly at this stage. Meanwhile, since Monday's opening, gold is currently down $7 at $1,418 an ounce, and silver is up 30 cents at $16.50. We hope you have found this video interesting and informative, and if so, please give it a thumbs up and share it on social media. Please ensure that you have subscribed to our channel and press the bell sign so that you are notified of any future videos. Also, kindly visit our website at illuminatisilver.com, and if you haven't already done so, please subscribe either as a free or paying member for regular email updates and offers. Disclaimer: Illuminati Silver owners come from a background of banking, international wealth management and economics. Having now retired from these worlds, we are not qualified to give investment advice. Therefore, this and other productions must not be deemed to be giving such advice and merely represent the personal views of its owners.